Today I want to share with you 7 apps that help me make $100 million. And I want to be very explicit here. I am not saying that these apps alone made me $100 million. I'm saying that these apps contributed and helped me and are tools that I use to make more money. So what I've done is I've basically curated the top 7 that I use on a daily basis. And by no means are these all the apps I use, but these are the ones I've used the most frequently that I think could help you. The first app I use is Slack. 99% of the day, I'm on Slack. I'm always on Slack. I'm constantly going back and forth on there because it's quick, tactical communication. I can communicate with not just my team, but with all the CEOs of all of our portfolio companies. And what I really like about Slack is its fast feedback loops. So if somebody does something really great in the company and they do a great presentation or they have a great call with a client, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quickly send them a message and tell them they did a great job. That's why I like Slack so much, is it's very fast feedback. Now what it's not great for ongoing communication about a large project. That's for a different kind of platform. But for every day, just talking, because we're a remote team and we're not having little side conversations in the office, that's essentially what Slack does for us. The second app that I use is Google Calendar. I know most people use calendars. How I use Google Calendar is essentially I have all of my meetings in there, and then I also have all of my personal things that I'm going to be doing and all the activities I'm doing throughout the day. And so often what it looks like is I have it in there when I drink coffee. I have it in there when I work out. I have it in there when I'm going on a walk. I have it in there when I have dinner reservations. I have the drive time for every appointment in there. And I have all my meetings in there as well. And what's really great about this is that if you actually utilize your calendar to the extent like I do, you can look at the next upcoming few weeks, every weekend when you're planning your week, and you can see like, what does my load look like? And can I shift around some of the things on my calendar to accommodate more what I want to get done? And so if you don't use the calendar fully, or if you use it like half, then it's not really useful for that. But it is very useful if you use it 100% of the time and you completely dedicate to it. A lot of people stack themselves back to back to back. They don't put any buffer time in. What I do is I look at my calendar a couple weeks out. Doing these meetings mixed together, am I going to still have high energy? If I'm doing 7 internal meetings and then I have a 2-hour podcast, do I think that's a good energy balance? Probably not. So maybe I need to move some of those meetings to a day that I don't have a podcast at the end of the day. And that's how I use the calendar, basically to load balance and to energy balance. The third app that I use is Asana. Asana is a project management tool. If we have an initiative that we're working on that requires more than 2 people and is going to take me more than a couple days to complete, I'm going to put it in Asana and keep it organized in there. Because there's a couple cool things about Asana. One is it stores all historic data. So a lot of people say, oh, we use different channels in Slack to go over things, but Slack is not nearly as search friendly as Asana. Asana is much more search friendly, and it creates an entire catalog of basically you can search any term in it to find any project you've worked on for the last 7 years, because it can show you how far you are away from completing a task or a project. You can track your progress to a goal based on the progress that you've made that last few days, weeks, etc. The other use that we have of Asana is actually tracking our company initiatives. And so the way that we structure our company is, we have 3-year goals, we have 1-year goals, and then we have quarterly goals. All of those goals sit in Asana, and they're visible to the entire organization so that everybody can see at any given point in time what other people are working on and what goals it ties to in the organization, which I love because it promotes a ton of transparency for people in the business, and everyone can have full visibility into what I'm working on, what Alex is working on, what other executives are working on. So I think it creates a transparent workplace. The fourth app that I use is completely different than the first 3 that I talked about. It is Instacart. Instacart is an app that I downloaded, I want to say 6 years ago when it first came out. Instacart is grocery delivery. And this is something that I hound people on, because if your time is worth anything, there is no reason why you wouldn't be using Instacart, because it's just going to do your grocery shopping for you and deliver it to your house, apartment, condo, whatever. So I've been using it religiously for a long time. It's saved me over thousands of hours. Like, I'm pretty sure if I looked, it's insane. So I don't know why someone wouldn't do that. If you're trying to start a business, if you have a high-paying job, if you're trying to get a promotion, if you're trying to take on side work, there's really no reason that you should be going grocery shopping. I don't think it's a good use of anybody's time. It's something like $99 a year and you tip the driver, but it is absolutely worth it and a super high ROI. The fifth app that I use is actually called True Coach. The way that I use True Coach is I have somebody who makes my workouts for me on a daily basis. They plug them into this app, and then every day when I go to the gym, I just look at this app and it tells me what a workout is going to be. How many sets, how many reps, what am I aiming for, what's the rest pause period. It gives me the whole thing. I started doing this when I started my first business because I realized that though I love working out, it's just not in me to every day think of my workout, track it, and be solely responsible for creating my workout routine. And so I outsourced it, and this app has been extremely helpful in tracking to make sure that I still am making progress without putting all that mental energy into it. As much as I can like it at times, it's just not a good use of my time. So if you want to stay on track with your fitness while building a business, I suggest outsourcing some of those pieces and then just doing whatever is on plan for that day. The sixth app that I use on a frequent basis is called Handwritten. And the reason I love this app is because you can send handwritten notes to anybody at any point in time, and it's just a few buttons away on an app. So you can basically customize different stationery to look your business, to look maybe at your family picture, whatever it is. And then you can write a little note and then it ships it off to whatever their control center is, and they hand write it to somebody. And so I like that a lot because if I go to dinner with somebody new, if we bring on a new employee, if somebody does something really nice at work, to go ahead and send them a little card, and this app makes it super easy to do. The last app that I use on a daily basis is actually called Building Link. I chose to live in a full service condo community. And so what you have is you have this app called Building Link that services a lot of those condo communities. And what it does is I can order a massage, I can order flowers to my house, I can order water, I can order food, I can make reservations, I can get someone to come shine my shoes, I can get someone to wash my car, all through an app. So it's really anything you can think of that is a daily living activity that takes effort and time, you can outsource on this app. And now, of course, you can't just have this app and have that done, but I'm trying to explain I value buying back my time. That's why I'm not in some huge house right now. It's why I'm in a condo, because I've realized that the condo life, I can buy back more of my time by having this app and ancillary services that do things for me. So an alternative, if you can't live in a community that has an app like this, is TaskRabbit. So when I did live in a house, I actually used TaskRabbit all the time to do everything. Hang up a painting, unclog a toilet, whatever it was, use TaskRabbit. And so that's a great alternative if you don't live in a community that has those amenities.